Hey everybody, welcome to the Quick Start webinar. Just give me a heads up that you can hear me. I want to say hello. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. We're going to get started right now. All right, thank you, Willie. Thank you, Francis. Thanks everybody for joining. We're going to cover a lot of material today. What is a quick start? So a quick start is certainly if you're a new member and you don't know what to do, the quick start is the place to start. It's going to help you get started with one video, a full set of instructions on how to get going. If you've never dealt with 10-minute trades before, Quick Start's going to get you going. It's going to show you everything about trading, event-based trading. And if you're a current member and you just need a great refresh, well, Quick Start is what you want to do. So welcome everybody. My name is Lee Goldstein. As I said, I'm the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. Just briefly, why you should listen to me, why anything I say has any value. I've been doing this for more than 10 years. 15 years I've been trading futures, 9 years I've been working for 10-minute trades and vetting news events. I know all about the news, I know how to trade it, and I want to teach you how to do it too. And that's why you should trust me. I've been doing it for a very long time, and I really care about all of our members and everybody that comes to visit us here at 10 Minute Trades. So thanks for your interest. We absolutely value your trust, and I really look forward to helping everybody. So here's what we're going to cover today. What is appointment-based trading? An overview of our training, navigating the member area, getting started with NinjaTrader, everything, the weekly market movers. What are the daily market movers? We're going to cover it all today. Trade room, software. We have 3 strategies. We're going to get into our strategies. Family money trades, FMTs we call them. Earnings, ARS signals, targeting. We're going to go through everything. How to get help, questions and answers. Hopefully, some of you brought your questions. I'll answer any question you might have. If you have a question after the webinar and you're just not sure about something, send us an email, help@10minutetrades.com. You don't have to, when you go to Freshdesk, our ticket area, you don't have to open an account. You can just send an email. So don't worry about opening an account, just send an email. You can go to our website, our YouTube channel. All right, I highly recommend that everybody go to our YouTube channel. YouTube 10-minute trades. There is so much good stuff on our YouTube channel. Lots of free videos, tons of webinars, weekly schedules. You name it, you can see it, you can find it on our YouTube channel. If there's something you need to learn, there is undoubtedly a video up on our YouTube channel. Live trade rooms, plenty of them up on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see what we do, you can see what we do. Watch us on YouTube. We don't edit those videos. Okay, so I've explained who we are. Let me go into it a little more deeply. We've been around for 9 years at 10 Minute Trades. We started as JoeBracketBreakout.com. Joe, J-O, Jay Offner. Jay is the owner of the company, one of the 2 owners, and he invented the original software. And he called the company J-O, Jay Offner, BracketBreakout.com. We changed our name briefly to the NewsTraders.com because we kind of liked the way it sounded. And we realized we needed a perfect name, and a perfect name would embody what we do. And that's how we came up with 10-minute trades. It clearly defines the type of trading we do. And I would say 90%. It used to be all of our trades take 10 minutes or less on average. But things change. The markets change. Trading changes. Our software has been updated. Every now and then we're in a trade longer than 10 minutes. But overall, everything we do is well under 10 minutes for a trade. And I'm going to show you lots of trades. As a small company, we are an industry leader in the space of appointment-based trading. There's very few people who do what we do. We call it appointment-based trading, news trading, event-based trading. It's all the same thing. So what is appointment-based trading? Trades that happen on specific days at specific times. Very simple. Trades that happen on specific days at specific times. Based on important trade triggers. What's a trade trigger? An economic report. Earnings. Market opens and closes. So those are the times we are in our trade room. Trades that happen on specific days at specific times. All right? Very important. With appointment-based trading, you choose the trades that fit your schedule, and you're in and out in 10 minutes or less of the trades. Keep in mind, the average trade room takes about 30 minutes. That's the amount of time we generally spend in the average trade room. But we're changed. Over the years ago, we used to have an economic report and a trade room. Economic report and a trade room. It's a little bit different today because we trade the market open. Now we might spend a couple of hours in the trade room in the morning because we'll get there before the market open to catch some opportunities, or there might be some 8:30 news. Then we'll stay in the room until the market open at 9:30 Eastern time, and we'll look for opportunities because we have software setups that allow us to find many opportunities around the open, exactly at the open. We're not just limiting everything we do anymore to the exact moment of an event. It's still our DNA. It's still the main way we trade, but there is a lot of trading going on around the events as well. For more information, if you're totally confused, we have a very nice video on our homepage, how to find your own 10-minute trades. Just go to the website, www.10minutetrades.com. Easy as pie. We have a system. Our system has 4 elements: the WMM, the DMM, trade room, and software. WMM is our weekly market mover. That's a fancy word we use for our schedule. The WMM is our schedule. The DMM, that's a daily market mover report. Some of our trades get what we call the treatment of a DMM. They get a very special analysis, and that analysis is a report we call the Daily Market Mover, and we send that report to our members the day before the event takes place. And the rest of our system, very important, trade room access. Everything takes place in our trade room. We go over the reports. We show our members how to enter our reports into our software. We set up the trades. We use our software 3 strategies: the news trader strategy, the magnet trade strategy, and the trap trade strategy. And you know what? We used every one of those strategies today. We had a fantastic trading day today. People made quite a bit of money trading this morning. Overview of the training. So here's what we're going to do. The weekly market movers, the daily market movers, the trade room, software, magnets, ARS signals. We're going to cover it all. The first thing you do, if you sign up at 10-Minute Trades, you go to this link and create a login. All right? That's the first thing you do. Our weekly schedule then will get sent to you every Sunday, and you'll be able to know when we are in our trade room. All right? To sign up, if you're not a member and you want to sign up for the weekly schedule, go to our website, 10minutetrades.com, opt in on our home page for the video I just mentioned, how to find 10-minute trades. When you sign up for that video, it automatically takes you, you'll type in your email, and we'll start sending you our weekly schedule. Why is the weekly schedule meaningful and important to all traders? Even if you don't trade the news, well, it will let you know important events that are taking place that might affect trades you're in. So let's say you're really a beginner and you don't even understand the market open. If you look at our weekly schedule, you'll know what time important triggers take place. You've got the market open at 9:30 in the morning. It says it on our schedule. If you are a member, the weekly schedule, the weekly market mover, shows you the times we're in our trade room. It shows you the event we're trading. We call that a trade trigger. Shows you the instrument we may be trading. And I say maybe because the last thing we do, anything can be updated at the last minute in the trade room because you never know who tweeted something, what news announcement might have been made. Things change at the last second, and that's why the trade room is so important. So the first step is the weekly schedule. It gets you into the trade room. You know when you're going to be there. You can create your own schedule, and that's a very important starting point. Then, like I said, we take many important events and we create a daily market mover. The daily market mover is an in-depth analysis of the trade we'll be trading or watching the following day. Always comes out the day before the scheduled trade, so you could practice trading, look at the report, figure out if you're interested in trading it, figure out if you're able to trade it. Maybe this is just part-time for you and you have a full-time job. So it's important to know the schedule. Usually, a DMM has 1 to 3 different events. Here's today's DMM, for instance. There was very early morning trades this morning at 3:15 and 4:15 in the morning. You had very early trades. You also had a 4:30 trade on the the British flash manufacturing services. Then we were in the trade room at 8 o'clock for unemployment claims, and we made money on that trade. Then we were back in the room for flash manufacturing services. That was a trap trade. That was a trade we expected to reverse. Then we traded the natural gas storage report, and we made money on that report this morning. These are DMMs. They are mini reports that help our members understand how to trade the individual news events that we vet and look at and study so we can create this report to help you trade these trades with us in our trade room. And there are members that only get the DMM reports and they use them not in the trade room, but maybe in their own office, whatever, and they trade their own trades. That's another sample of the jobs report DMM, a very, very successful report for us. And you can see how the report's been doing. There's a mini journal on some of these DMMs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of journal is on this recent non-farm payroll report. We trade this as a breakout. It says what the bracket is. It's a 50 bracket. Here was a very recent jobs report that we traded in the trade room. This is actual screens that we stream to you in our trade room. We show our members how to set up the report, and then let me go right to the time. 8:30, the news comes out. It's the jobs report. That was a $900 ES trade, and it was a big MNQ trade in the middle. But for us, it was the ES that we concentrated on that particular month. That was our favorite setup. We told our members in the trade room, trade the ES, that's our favorite setup. It was over here on the left. Price exploded up when the news came out. So we were talking about what is appointment-based trading, trades that happen on specific days at specific times based on the important trade triggers, economic reports, earnings, and market opens and closes. You're in and out of most of your trades in 10 minutes or less. We have a system at 10-minute trades, WMM, the weekly schedule, the DMM, trade room, and software. We covered this. I'm going to move forward to where we were. The first thing you do when you sign up, you use this link and it gives you a login. I'll show you that screen. We went through our weekly market mover. We went through the daily market mover. It's a trade report that comes out the day before the event takes place. And that daily report shows you how to trade the event. I was showing everybody the ES trade. Maybe there's something wrong with that video, so I'm not going to show that same video, but I'll still show videos. I'm not afraid that my computer is going to crash again. It's very, very rare. I have a pretty nice machine. So you can sign up for Daily Market Movers. Everything that we talk about in the webinar today, you can sign up for should you want to. Or at the end of the webinar, I will have a nice offer that if you want to become a member, you get everything included. But there is a website that you can go to and you can join what we call our subscription to the Daily Market Movers. Okay, they're $67 a month. You can get them for a whole year for $199. But I'm not here to sell you these. I'm just showing you everything that's available from 10-minute trades. Our trade room. In our trade room, you get to trade with me live. Okay? It's very important because I will show you in the trade room how to set up your trades. You can watch over my shoulder. I take the trades using either real money. These days, everybody's trading, not everybody, but most of us are using prop accounts. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. But you'll trade with me in the trade room. You should take any trade in simulation at least until you're ready to go live. And that's the best way to learn. Practice in simulation until you're ready to go live, and then you can take real trades, either using cash or using your prop accounts. Even trading prop accounts, you want to be smart. You don't want to blow accounts and spend money that you don't have to spend. In the trade room, there might be multiple trade rooms on any given day. We might have a morning room, an afternoon room, and an evening room. Remember, our weekly schedule is the key to understanding when we're going to be in our trade room. You go to the weekly schedule and it shows you when the trade room opens for that particular event on that particular day. I'll show you a couple of other things. We always have other ways to know what the schedule is. The trade room times vary day by day. It's not that we're open a specific time every day. Our trade room hours are different every day because there's different news every day. But we leave the room open all week so people can go in the room, talk to each other, even if we're not there. Okay? So the room is always open, but the room is active when we have events. To join the trade room and get access, if you're a member, we send you these links. Now, we have two links. If you ever have a problem signing into the trade room, you get an error password. Sometimes with technology, the short links don't work properly all the time. So you could note down this longer link, or I'll tell you what, we usually send this long link to people if they have a problem signing into the trade room. What happens when you get the link, it brings you to this area here. And you just sign in with the email and password that you have. The email is the email you signed up for the service with, and the password we post on our website every week. All right, every Sunday. There's also a schedule. We call this the trade room lobby. The trade room lobby is the most updated weekly schedule because we can change this and you can see it every morning when you log into the trade room. So if you ever want to double check the schedule, the trade room lobby has our most updated schedule. And you could see tomorrow we'll be in the trade room 8:45 for the U.S. market open, and we'll be there at 9:30 for Revise University of Michigan Consumer Confidence Report. So the trade room lobby is our most updated schedule, okay? Most prop companies, Don, we use companies that do allow bracket trading. Our members are getting paid. It's not a problem. You just have to use the right companies. So you just choose the prop company that lets you trade the way that we trade. It's really that simple. Our members are getting payouts on a regular basis using Lucid, Bullinox. Those are our two favorite companies. That's the way to do it. Our software, we have three strategies: our News Trader software, our Trap Trade software, our Magnet Trader software. They are all custom add-on strategies to Ninja Trader. We have multiple setups in our strategies. And like I said, we have three strategies. They can automate your trade entries, your targets, your stops. I'm going to show you every strategy we have today and how to use it. Our software is also a super ATM. It's an automated trade manager. It manages the trade. It helps you to automate, be discretionary, semi-automate. These decisions we help you with in the trade room. To get a lifetime license, if you wanted to, we have a link for a lifetime license of our software. All right. I'm going to post, we will send everybody these links. And of course, you have this video as well. But we do have a lifetime license of our software, not trade room, software only. Now, we have something we call family money trades. We teach that one of the most important things of being a 10-minute trader is trading the best events. Now, I have to say a couple of things in that prop trading has changed things in many ways because people have more than one prop account because they can be very reasonably priced to have. With a prop account, you're basically renting the Ninja Trader platform, which is required for our software. The best of the best setups that we have, we call them family money trades. And our weekly schedule shows what we feel are the best trades of the week. Family money trade, family money trade, family money trade. Those are what we think are the highest probability for profitable trades. They're the most reliable. They're immediately available to all trade room or DMM members. How do you do and go about navigating our member area? So at 10-minute trades, a lot of our members don't even realize we have a very good member area. Let me show you the member area. Give me a second. I got to log in. So let me show you our member area. Give me 10 seconds. I'm going to log in. I'll show you a lot of things about it. So, all right, I'm logged in. Here's how you get access. First, remember I said our system does not automatically create your membership when you join up. You have to just create an account so you can log in to the member area. We send you the link, of course. All right, you'll receive the link. You don't have to type it. Then you just set up the email that you purchased your subscription with, your password, or create an account. And if you're just on a free account and just getting the weekly market mover, you can still set up a member area password. And there are some trade room videos up there, some educational videos that you can still use. So you can still become a member without buying anything. All right? And you just fill in all these various areas. Very easy. Obviously, then you just log in www.10minutetrades.com/login. Bookmark the page, save all the info. When you get to the member area, something that many of our members don't realize, the trade room password, it's up here. Now I'm going to show it because there's only one more trade room day left. The trade room password, you just click Pro Trade Room link and schedule, and it shows you the weekly market mover video schedule, and you could download the weekly schedule. So every member can download the weekly schedule, and if you're a free member, you can download the weekly schedule. It's a Google Drive file. You just click this little arrow up here in the left, and that downloads the file. All right, so the Pro Trade Room and then the password is right up here for the week. It changes every week. Then there's also a weekly market mover area, just the weekly schedule. And we also have a DMM, daily market mover area. You can download today's DMM and you can download the previous DMM. So the other day we had British CPI. That's the DMM I showed you a little while ago. We also had the 20-year bond auction, and that was yesterday. And then the current DMM is today, the French flash manufacturing. You can download them, all right? Again, the little arrow on the upper left. So we also email these reports, but sometimes people have problems receiving emails. It just happens. Our NewsTrader software, all of our software can be downloaded from the website. NewsTrader Strategy, the Magnet Manual, the Magnet Software, and our Trap Trade. And we have a template for our trading charts, okay? Everybody that trades with us should download the template because it allows you to set up your charts exactly the way that we set our charts up. And then we have quick start videos, we have trade room recordings, all sorts of things on our website available to our members. And some things available for free as well. Okay? Now, we require that you use the NinjaTrader platform. The NinjaTrader platform can be free. They have a free version. They also have yearly subscriptions, quarterly, I believe, and lifetime with NinjaTrader. Getting started with NinjaTrader, it's a separate third-party trading platform. We are not affiliated with NinjaTrader. We don't receive any commissions when you buy, rent, or use their software, okay? We use NinjaTrader because they are one of the best trading platforms for trading futures and for using third-party software like ours. That's why we use their software. We built our software to work on top of NinjaTrader. To download the NinjaTrader platform, www.ninjatrader.com. They have all sorts of different types of platforms. They have mobile, they have desktop. We mostly are involved with desktop trading. Open a demo account if you want. They have demo accounts where they give you a couple of weeks of live free data. But even better, what most people are doing today is trading with prop firms. So what is a prop firm? Let's get into that because that's the way almost, I'd say about 85–90% of all people are trading with prop firms now. So very simply, instead of opening a brokerage account with $10,000 or $20,000, for as low as $20 a month, you can rent the NinjaTrader platform with live trading data, with everything you need to get started trading. Then you can add a membership to us, get access to our software, our trade room, and all our reports, and you're ready to go. And all of the prop companies, they're constantly having sales, so you can get involved with prop trading for as little as $16 a month. On average, we're looking about $20 a month for the companies that we like. The main company we like is a company called Bullenox, Bullenox. You're going to see a link right here, bullenox.com. A sale just ended. I'm sure in a day or so they'll have a new sale. $50,000 accounts, which really are $2,500 accounts, which I'll explain in a second. And another company that we like is a company called Lucid Trading, lucidtrading.com. You can choose two different types of data feeds. With Bullenox, the data feed is rhythmic. With Lucid, you can choose Tradovate. Tradeovate, we feel, is a stronger data feed, seems to work more reliably. If you have a choice of Tradeovate or Rhythmic, choose Tradeovate. That's what I would recommend. Either company allow you to trade the way that we trade. There's many other companies out there that allow the type of trading that we do. Many of our members are using these two companies. They're getting paid. And here's proof of one of our members getting paid recently, and he was using a different company. Okay, Nitin, who's a regular trader member, regularly getting payouts. One of our almost a team member, but one of our best members, Langford from Anguilla, has been paid from Bullinox. It is absolutely unequivocally not a scam. Prop trading probably is one of the best things that's ever happened to trading because it allows you to get started, to learn, and not blow up your own personal money. And if you're good at trading, if you treat it properly and think properly about what you're doing, eventually you could take money from the market also. And it's absolutely the best way to trade. So prop trading, you're essentially renting. You are renting the NinjaTrader platform and you're renting the software, the data, everything. You add to that subscriptions to the various companies whose software you want to use. That's where we come in. The one thing I will say, the benefit of being a good a good cash trader is there's no rules when you trade cash. With a prop account, you have to follow their rules. You have to follow all of their rules, or when you become very successful, you will not be able to get paid when you request a payout. So not only do you rent their software, but the concept is you then have to trade successfully, make money in your account, make enough money and in a consistent manner. So when you request a payout, they approve it. A payout might mean you earned thousands of dollars trading your prop account and you requested $1,000 payout. That's a very common thing that happens in the beginning. If you have a Bullinox account, you have to be profitable $3,600 before you can request a payout. That's above and beyond passing an evaluation account. So you start with an eval. You then have to make at least $2,500 to $3,000 in an eval account. Then you get a funded account. You usually pay a fee to get a funded account. It might be $100 to $150, but that's a one-time fee. You keep your funded account until you lose too much money. That's how the system works. You have what's called a drawdown that you're allowed to get to. So for instance, to make it real simple, when you get an eval account, okay, you can have an eval account and your drawdown, they may call it a $50,000 trading account, but it says the drawdown is $2,500. What that actually means is it's a $2,500 account because if you lose $2,500, that account closes. You could either pay $39 to reset it or wait till the month is up and it will reset for the original monthly price you rented that account for. That is essentially how it works, but you have to pass the eval and then pass the funding. So when all is said and done, you have to raise about $6,000 in trading success before you can attempt to make a payout. Now, I am being told by one of our attendees, one of our great members, Ray, that the sale is still on for Bullinox. So if you go to bullinox.com and use the coupon code PTF89, you can get a $50,000 account for $19.25 a month. And I'm telling you, if you learn to trade properly using a Bullinox or a Lucid trading account, you can eventually request payouts. Treat these accounts like you're trading real money, not like it's a joke where you're going to trade 30 contracts if you try. You want to treat it as seriously as a heart attack. That is the way to be an honest and real trader. So at 10-minute trades, we have 5 elements that are so important: our education, our weekly market movers, our daily market movers, our trade room, and our software. I've gone over the weekly market mover, but very quickly, I want to just show you one more time how to read the report. So here we go. This was the link to our most current report, this week's schedule. It's very easy to read from the left to the right. On the left is the trigger time of the event. All right, trigger time of the event. Let me make it a little bigger for everybody. So for instance, on Monday, Canada CPI was at 8:30. We were in the trade room at 8 o'clock. We were trading the Canada futures 6C, and there was a certain amount of risk. That's how you read the weekly market mover. It's that simple. That's our weekly schedule. How do we find our appointment-based trades? We have free calendars that we show our members how to use. ForexFactory.com is my first favorite calendar. When I'm making up the weekly schedule, I go to ForexFactory.com, I click the word calendar, and it gives me a week of data that these are potential trades. These trades are in different colors. Yellow, not so impactful. Red, very impactful. And then orange is somewhat impactful. Over the years, we have gone over, when I say almost all of these events, we have gone over almost all of these events. We use these various calendars to find our events. So forexfactory.com, investing.com is another website that we use every day in our trade room. Click on the words economic calendar. They have a different way of listing, and they have different events. The reason we use multiple calendars is because it takes more than one calendar to find all the events that are coming out in each week. So that's investing.com, a very good calendar. Also, my third favorite calendar, tradingeconomics.com. What's nice about Trading Economics, their calendar has grain reports on it. I have seen very few other calendars that have grain reports, so they have a very nice calendar also. They use just red, maroon for the most important, black for medium important, and then the regular events are not anything special in the highlighting. So that's tradingeconomics.com. Then, because we also trade earnings, it's very important to know what events you want to go and find. That one of the best calendars for finding earnings events is earningswhispers.com. We use it virtually every day. We were in our trade room this morning at 6 in the morning. When you go to earningswhispers.com, they have a best of at the top. Coming up very soon, if you hover over each event, it'll show you the date, the earnings, and the time those earnings come out. So next week is a big week. We've got Amazon, we've got Apple, we've got Microsoft. Nvidia is May 20th. Meta, oh my goodness, we have a whole bunch on the same day, which we hate, but it happens. AMD is May 5th. Alphabet coming out. A lot of them are on the same day next week. That's a shame. Everything's on April 29th. Wow. Anyway, that's how we get our earnings. If you click the calendar and then click a certain day, you get a list of everything that's coming out and the day it's coming out, the company name, the time. If you click an individual company, it goes into more detail. Great, great tool, earningswhispers.com. Highly, highly recommended if you want to trade earnings. And then financialjuice.com, another favorite website of ours. They have a live news squawk box that we use. We use their pro version. They call it Voice News, and the pro version is not free. All the other calendars were free, but Financial Juice is worth paying for because that pro version gives you news talking in your headset. If you're with us in the trade room, for me, having news in my headset is so worthwhile and so worth paying because it helps us determine if we want to stay in a trade or not while the news is out. It might tell us what the earnings are, what's going on in a jobs report. It'll help us to manage our trade. So having talking news is very important and incredibly useful. Okay, so financialjuice.com, the pro version for the news squawk tools. All of the events that I showed you, we track them, we back test them, and we know which of the events move the markets. It's very easy to back test a trade. So what do we mean when we say we're going to back test a trade? So let me get into it for a second and show you exactly what we mean. I'm going to show you a lot of everything today. So back testing means, let's say this morning we had the natural gas report, okay? And you missed it. So we know that natural gas, it has an instrument that we trade, NG space 0526. That's the instrument that we're trading, all right? So we know we're going to trade natural gas. But NinjaTrader has a feature where if you turn off your live data, disconnect your live data, you can replay a previous time. So I can go back to this morning and replay the natural gas trade. All I have to do is go to Tools, download the data, go to Historical Data. Historical Data opens this file, get Market Replay, choose today's date, which is the 23rd, choose the instrument that we're trading, natural gas 526, that's the chart, download the data. It already finished downloading the data. And now in the connection, I put it on playback. Market playback, press continue. All right. Now I've got this tape recorder controller. So I put both of these boxes, today's date, April 23rd, and I'm going to put the time. I'm going to click in this blank space with my right mouse, go to, and I'm going to put the time of the trade 10 seconds before the event. So it was a 10:30 event, so I'm going to put in 10:29 and 50 seconds. Now, Ninja has a little bug where it may make me type that time again. All right, let's watch. It now brings me to the time of the trade, 10 seconds before the trade. If I press play, I have to reset my time, so let me put it back in. It's just there's one little crazy bug in Ninja. It is what it is. 10:29:50. All right, so now if I set up my trade, we have a breakout trade. Let's kill 10 birds with one stone, okay? So let's assume you are a member and you received in your email today a DMM that told you how to trade the natural gas report, all right? So you got in the email our instructions on how to trade natural gas. Now remember, our instructions are the daily market mover report. This yellow line shows us how to trade this report. I right-click the chart. I click the word strategies. Our strategies installed into NinjaTrader, and all three of them are now in NinjaTrader. Trap trade, magnet trade, news trader. This is a breakout. It's a news trader trade. Trade type is a breakout. I'm going to activate the trade the time it says 10:29:58, 2 seconds before the news is released. 10:29:58. I have a bracket. Now in the room, we noticed the market was very quiet. We made the bracket a little bit smaller. We made it a 12. Position 1 was one contract for target 1, which was 10 ticks. Type in 10. Target 2 was 20 ticks. The stop was 20 ticks. And that's how we set up our trade. I scroll down, then I'm choosing the playback account because we're going to replay this trade, and we label every single trade. This is natural gas, okay? And it's a breakout. So I label the trade, I apply it, and okay it. And what happens is the trade is now up on the control panel, and it's called natural gas. Here it is right here. If I want to turn it on, I click the enabled button and it turns my trade on. We get an icon, News Trader, that shows me it's on. Now, if I want to replay the trade, remember, I set up a trade. I press play in NinjaTrader, and in 9 seconds, our orders are going to show up on the chart. We're going to put price above the current news and price below. It's not above the current news, but it's above this orange arrow, the current price. So we have a bracket above and a bracket below. There's an expectation of what this news report is going to say. That expectation is on a calendar. So we show the calendar in our trade room. Natural gas, they're expecting 96 billion cubic feet. When this report came out, there was a lot more gas around than they thought. So what should happen? Natural gas should go down in price. Now, I want to remove that vertical line. So there's a vertical line that our software puts on. It's useful at times, but right now I'm turning it off. Show vertical line, I'm unchecking it, turning it off. We'll put our strategy back on. I'll back up the time just a few seconds. We'll run the replay again. Watch what happens. Here we go. I'm going to choose the trade. I'm going to press play on the playback. Our orders are going to show up on the chart. There's our orders. The news comes out. It shoots down, almost hits my first target, and I've already got a profit of $100 because it shot down and hit my first target. Remember, I typed in 10 ticks as my first target. Now, if I want, I could move my stop to safety. No matter what happens in this trade, I cannot lose money because I hit my first target, I'm up 100, and my stop is in profit. As the trade keeps moving, I could move my stop down and keep trailing. If I think it's going to be a monster trade, I could make the target bigger. If I think the trade's going to stop moving, I could bring my target into the price and see if it gets hit. Or I could just keep trailing my stop. The price got hit, and it was a profit of over $230. So we did a multitude of things here. You learned how to enter a DMM into the software. You saw how to do a replay, and you understand what a bracket breakout trade is. So in that one explanation, we covered a lot of ground. So let's go back to the slides. Give me a second. All right, back to our current slides. Let me get rid of our software replay. Let me go back. I want to go back to the normal markets, not replay. So I disconnect replay, and I'm going to connect my live account back, and I'm going to connect my prop account data. I'm going to get rid of my calendar because I don't need it, and I'm going to put my gold, micro gold chart back on because that's what I was looking at before I got here for the webinar. Okay? All right, now let's put our slides back on. So we back test. If I tell you all the things, all the trades, all the replays I've done, you know how they say to become an expert at something, you have to put your 10,000 hours in? I have put in my 10,000 hours of running replays. I have run hundreds and hundreds of replays. You can also use the ruler. You can also use the ruler to figure out how big a spike there was on a trade. For every trade that we take during the week, every trade, let me put it this way, every DMM that we generate, we create a spike report that shows us how much the news moved on that report and previous reports, and we usually go back 6 reports. That way we have a real good idea what's happening on that particular event. And that's how we set up the reports, by studying the previous event behavior. Backtesting is the key. Through experience, we know which markets give us big news and big moves at specific days and times. Some reports move an index, some a specific future or stock, some move multiple markets, some move the NQ and the YM. This morning, I was a little bit confused about Honeywell's earnings, but we realized before the event took place, Honeywell moves the NQ and the YM. And this morning, we were in the trade room 10 minutes to 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And I told the members, look, I'm not 100% about this trade, but we're pretty sure we think it moves the MNQ or the NQ and the YM. And we gave everybody a setup to use on this report, Honeywell's earnings. And this is exactly what happened this morning to us on this trade. Now, this particular event, we used something called a range trade. Our News Trader software has 3 major setups: the breakout, which I just showed you, the range trade, and the reverse continuation. Those are 3 main setups that we use almost every day in our trade room. This is the range trade. The range trade is very simple. It has a start time and an end time. When the time is over, so for instance, if you have a 5-minute range or a 30-second range like we did for earnings, the 2 inner lines calculate the range. The outer lines are the long order and the short order. So this is right before Honeywell's earnings. We calculate a very short range. The earnings come out, and then if there's a good move, the idea is we get pulled into the market, it hits our targets, and we exit the trade. Here are the earnings. They're coming out right now. They burst down, hit all our targets in an instant, and we had over $400 in profit on that trade. 200 on the NQ, 215 on the YM. And you could see the move. So what happened is it moved through our targets, it filled the targets, the orders, and then it hit the targets. So first thing that happened is we had our orders. Right at 6 o'clock, our orders showed up on the chart. A second later, the earnings came out, and it filled us, put our targets on, hit the targets, and we were out of the trade. That's a range trade. The key to a range trade: start time and end time. That determines how long of a range you're going to have. We have a funded account that has done spectacularly well trading the RTY range trade in the morning. Let me show you this morning's RTY range trade. It was amazing. Let me see if I could find the right video. That's my problem this morning. Hope that this is the video. It should be. So this morning, all the way to the right at 9:30, we were setting up our RTY trade right here. And I want to thank Langford, one of our members, who gave us 90% of this trade. 10% we changed with the size of the stop, and we do a little bit of management at times. But really, Langford, one of our members, gave us this trade and we tested it and found it to be fantastic. So we share it, we trade it every morning. It's a phenomenal trade. We don't care where we get a trade. I have 100 trades that we have found. Look, it burst through all of our targets in an instant. A 5-minute range was created and then it exploded through the range for a beautiful profit. Almost every morning we make money on that range trade. And then we also trade the MNQ breakout and we trade YM magnets. We made money on the YM magnet. We made $29 on the MNQ breakout. It's micros and it changed direction after hitting our first target. You could see it, watch, at 9:30. Watch, it was so fast. I didn't even see it take place. Here's the MNQ, pressing play. Our orders are going to go on the chart in a couple of seconds. You'll see our orders. We teach you how to trade the market opens. We trade, there's our orders every morning. And you could see it was so fast to even see what happened. It shot down, hit our first target, and then it reversed. If we had not moved our stop into safety, we would have hit our second target. Our software has a feature, if your first target gets hit, you can move your stop to safety. That's something we do a lot. You don't do it every time, but we do it a lot. If a trade shows us it has a propensity to reverse, we will often move our stop to safety. That protects your first target so that no matter what, if it reverses, you'll make money on the trade. Our software has a ton of features. There are hundreds of these trade triggers within the 3 categories that we talked about: earnings, financial news, market opens, and closes. Keep that in mind. We don't teach every one of them, but we teach you how to design your own trades so that you could look at the various schedules and you could find the trades that fit your schedules and you could make up your own. We haven't extensively tested every event. Take an hour or 2 each week, find additional trade triggers that are not on our schedule. Our members are doing that all the time and sharing them in the trade room. Then you back test the trades, just the way that I showed you how to use the playback feature. Test the trades. If they work, you can add them to your prop or live trading. Let us know when you find a winner. We'll steal that trade from you and teach everybody how to do it. Change it for the better if it can be changed for the better. Very, very critical, important to be part of a community that shares. Daily Market Mover. How do you read the Daily Market Mover? I've showed you these reports like 10 times today. We have many market movers and they have a setup. The yellow line is the setup. It shows the name of the trade. It's a trap. The time that we activate the orders, the targets that we type into the software, and the stop that we type in. It has the instrument that we're trading. And we go over this in the trade room, just like I showed you this morning on the trade, you know, the whatchamacallit, the what trade did I show you? The RTY, the natural gas trade. I showed you how to enter that trade into the software. Well, this morning we also had a trap trade. What's a trap trade? A trap trade is when we expect the market to reverse. When the market reverses, we make money on the reversal. So if the market moves up, right? If the market moves up, the market goes short and we get money when the trade changes direction. So let me show you what happened. First off, it's easy to choose and use our software. First of all, it looks like right now gold is getting ready to do a magnet. We have another strategy that we call the magnet strategy. I happen to have it on this chart. Now, it's unfortunate. My computer crashed, and when my computer crashed, the strategies that were on it, I have to re-enter them. And very quickly, here's how fast you can put a magnet on. Magnet strategy, I'm just choosing it. High of day, low of day, on. One position is automatic. My stop is 75. I'm going to do two positions, two contracts, one position. I'm going to choose an account. All right. Right now, I'll leave it on sim. We label every trade MGC magnet, apply it, okay it. I now have a magnet strategy for gold. Let me get rid of the strategies that won't work because my computer crashed. There's no point in showing them. It's not going to help us. It's just going to confuse things. But I set up a very quick magnet. One of the tools that we give all our members is this clock. It's very important to know what time you're trading. We're just coming out of lunch now. I might want to take a magnet trade. It's a test of the low. Here's my order entry. I can move it wherever I want. Here's my test of the high. This is our high of day, low of day magnet system. I can put it, this trade is on. It's not enabled yet to trade automatically unless I press the button, trade automatically, automatic mode. What if I want to enter way up here, way early? I could move my order way up. And if I want to enter, if the price gets to this thick, heavy line like it just did, it enters me into the trade. I can move my target wherever I want. Look, if the trade goes against me, I do want to have my stop in a smart place. For me, my stop in this trade would be above the VWAP. That would be my stop. If we break the VWAP, we're probably changing momentum. We also see our squeeze momentum is changing. It's blinking, different colors. That's how easy it is to put a high of day, low of day magnet trade on. We also can change different indicators that we want to target. We can target the S1. We can target the VWAP. Okay? So for instance, I could close this trade out, which by the way, I think it's going to go down, but it doesn't matter what I think. I'm going to close this trade. If we put a new magnet on by just pressing the enable button, and I want to test the VWAP, this area here. If I think price is going to go up, I could target a different area. Change high of day to manual, change the target to VWAP, and now move my order line to below the VWAP because we're moving up to the VWAP. And if gold moves up and pierces my order line, it will put me in the trade long for a test of the VWAP. My trade setup was set up inside the inputs when I was setting up the magnet trade. And it's very easy to set it up. You right-click the chart, click strategies, highlight the magnet trade, and now I have all my inputs. I don't have to change all of those. Only a couple of them do I have to change. I'm going to change whether it's a high of day, low of day trade. If it's a VWAP trade, no problem. I can target that on the control panel. What you want to do here is how many contracts, how many positions. You could have a two-position trade, what the target is, and what your stop is. That's all you have to type in. Choose the account that you're trading in. We label every trade, apply it, okay it, turn the trade on, and now I have, right now it's set to high of day, low of day, but it looks like it's going to the VWAP. Change to manual entry, target the VWAP, move my order right into that area. If price goes up, I could make this an automatic trade, by pressing the entry button and turning it purple. If it's not purple, when it gets to my order, it will blink and give me time to enter the trade. Magnets are areas on a chart that attract price. They're very common pivots. PP, VWAP, high of day, low of day. Our magnet software is geared towards exiting the trade when you get to the magnet. Also, you can exit when you go through. Look at this. The NQ is creating a magnet. I had already preset this so that I could show you during the webinar, but the crash killed my setups. Magnet trade enabled. All right. I'm not even going to change anything. I'm just going to show you the trade because the price is going down. High of day, low of day. I move my order. If I want to get filled very close to where we are, watch. If I don't make it automatic, when the price gets here, it'll blink purple. Looks like it's getting here right about now, doesn't it? There it is. Press the button and it puts me in the trade. Okay. Now I said I didn't have the trade set up properly, so it didn't stay on very long. You're going to have the trade set up so that your target is far enough away so it doesn't take you out of a trade very fast. Also, we have these signals. We call these signals the ARS system. When we test a new high or when we test the VWAP, our software generates signals, long and short signals. And we explain in our trade room how to interpret the signals, what are some of the best times to take them, and our members trade them. Now, look, this magnet trade still hasn't tested the low. If I was trading during the day and I was here watching this, I would set it up properly. Let's set the darn thing up properly. 100 on my stop. It's a micro. You don't want to have a 5-tick stop. It's going to stop you out of the trade in 1 second. You have to have a normal stop. So now, as the price goes down, if it keeps going down, I would turn my magnet on automatic. And if it keeps going down, it's going to fill me. And it's going to exit around the low, 3 ticks away from the low. Okay, it filled me. All right. Now, it put my order exit right at the magnet, 3 ticks away. You have to decide where your stop should be on a magnet trade. We teach our members how to use market structure, candles, how to place stops. You don't want to place your stops where all the new traders put their stops. We also teach our members if a trade starts going your way, try to move your stop to safety. Right? Right now, this trade's starting to go my way. I can't yet move my stop to safety because now I can get my stop so that no matter what happens, I can't lose money on this trade. Now, as the price keeps going down, I can keep trailing. If it keeps going in my direction, I could keep increasing my profit. I could leave everything alone and let it just do its thing. It may just bounce around a bit and eventually hit the low of day. It may change direction completely and just give me a lost trade. There's more than one way to manage a trade, and we teach our members all day long the ways to manage trades. It's not complicated, but I'm not going to lie. You're not going to know how to do it in one day. That's why at the end of this webinar, we're going to make you a really great offer to spend 3 months with us. That's a reasonable amount of time to learn how to trade a system. You don't want to rush. This magnet trade still is valid. It could still take place, right? So you could try and turn it on again. All right? It can be a valid trade more than once. All right? Now, let me make sure it's on for high of day, low of day. So it's blinking because it touched the low of day entry. I did not have it set to automatic. So I don't have to enter now because it changed direction. I can wait I can let it hit that price level again. Or what if it changed its mind and now it goes straight up? I could have avoided a losing trade. I'm going to put it in auto mode just for fun, and let's see what happens. We'll give it 1 minute and maybe it'll work, maybe not. If not, we'll go on to our trap trade, because that's what I started showing you before we got sidetracked, because magnets take place all day long in various markets. If you want to sit in front of your computer all day long, you can find charts to trade magnets all day long. Highs of days on different instruments take place at different times during the day. The magnet strategy works on any instrument. You can also use your own indicators to trade it. Before we're done here today, however, I'm going to show you how to set your charts up exactly like ours. Exactly like ours. Let's move on to what I was going to show you before we started looking at the magnet trade. The trap trade. Remember what I said about the trap trade. A trap trade is a reversal trade. It's a trade where we think the market on the news is going to change direction, and we're going to make our money when the direction changes. So we have a setup. This morning we had a gold setup, full size gold, GC space 0626. All right. Remember, our software installs into NinjaTrader. I'll show you how to install our software, but make believe for a minute. I already showed you. After you install it, you right click a NinjaTrader chart, you click the word strategies, and then all three of our strategies show up. Trap trade, magnet, news trader. Inside the news trader, when you double click it, there's a whole bunch of setups. You've got breakout, range trade, reverse continue. Three very common setups we use pretty much every day in our trade room. All right. The breakout I showed you with natural gas. The range trade I showed you with the RTY. Okay. On the range trade, the key to remember is at the top, the trade type changes from breakout to range trade. Then you have a range start time, ticks above the range, ticks below the range, and show the range on chart when it draws the range. Then you have end of the range. So let's say you're trading from 1:15 p.m., right? So that's actually 13:15:00, and you're ending the range at 13:25, 1:25:00. We have position 1 is one contract, position 2 is a contract. Target 1 is 20 ticks, target 2 is 40 ticks. Our stop is 50 ticks. I've now set up a complete range trade. I'm going to scroll down. The account I choose is SIM. Remember what I said, we label every trade gold range. I click apply and OK, and it puts my trade on the control panel. GC range trade. To turn it on, I just click the enabled box. There's my range. I chose. What did I choose? 115 to 120. In a couple of seconds, our orders are going to show up on the chart. When it gets to 1320, I think I chose 1325, didn't I? Let's check. You highlight the range, check. 1325 is the time I chose. So in 30 seconds, our ticks above the range is this top little line. If I chose 100 ticks above the range, that line would be way up here. If I chose 50 ticks below the range, that order entry would be down here. Sometimes you just want to trade the breakout of a range with one tick above and one tick below. 5 seconds from now, our orders are going to show up. And then if the market keeps moving through the range, there's our order. That's my short order. That's my long order. If the market moves through those orders, that's when I get filled. That's how you set up a range trade. Easy as pie. You could still move your order if you think you want to get filled earlier before the range activates. You can do that. We also have a range trade now button. If you're waiting 10 minutes for the range and the market really starts moving, you could press the range trade now button and it'll put the orders on the chart early. If you want to cancel the trade, just uncheck the button and the trade is canceled. That's how you put a range trade on. Now, how do you put a trap trade on? So this morning, we sent our members this DMM for the unemployment trade to trade unemployment claims with a trap trade. How do we know it was a trap trade? Because the DMM said trap trade activation time. So here's how you choose a trap trade. Right click strategies, double click trap trade. All right. Make sure it's highlighted. With a trap trade, position 1, how many contracts? Position 2, how many contracts? We have an activation time. It was an 8:30 trade. So we activated at 8:29:55 Eastern time. And we had a stop of 25 ticks. So we put the stop in. We then labeled the trade. It was a trap gold. So we called it trap GC. We chose the account. And when we traded it, we got ready. We press apply. Okay. What happens? Our trade shows up on the control panel and it has a name. All right. Why do we name all our trades? What if you were doing what we were just doing and you have a bunch of different setups? We have our natural gas setup. We didn't remove it. We have our gold range. We have our trap trade. We want to turn on the trap trade, right? That's the one we're going to turn on if it were 8:30 this morning. Let me show you what happened on the trade. Let me grab the video. It was unemployment. Here's how the trade traded. This was our real trade. So let me get to the part of the video, 8:30. Hopefully this is the right video. It may not be. So give me a second. Yeah, it is. Okay. So here was our, I hope this was, yes, this was our trap. Let me get this time out of the way. So the trap trade, it puts our orders on the chart. 2 orders above, 2 orders below the current price. The news comes out and the market's going to move up and fill us short. Watch what happens. The market's going to actually shoot up and fill us short. It's going to take a couple of seconds, but it's going to happen. I remember the trade. I took it this morning. There's the move up. It's going to shoot up. It's going to go through both the orders, and it fills me and puts me in the market 2 contracts short. The idea now is I want this market to reverse so I can make a profit, right? So it's going to move. I'm going to just let this fill. I trust you. The video's working. It's not going to crash my computer. What's going to happen, you can see I was talking in the room. Price is moving up. It's going to fill us in about 3 seconds. It's going to shoot through those X's, fill us, and reverse immediately, which is what we want. And as soon as I can move my stop to safety, that's where I'm starting to get a profit. And if price keeps going down, my profit grows. This morning, it didn't keep going, but I was able to move my stop into a safe area. It's going to happen in a couple of seconds, and I was able to grab a $280 profit, okay? Both my orders filled. I moved my stop to safety, and if it would have kept going down, I would have kept trailing. But it chopped back at me, and I made $280 as it took me out of the trade going up. It hit my stop. That's very common. You'll enter, move your stop to safety, and make money. The idea is the report did exactly what I expected to do. And I did mean to then I took my other 2 orders that were on the chart they now became targets. So I moved them closer so that they could get hit if price moved into them. Once again, I don't expect you to understand everything I'm showing you in this webinar. I'm going over everything we do. This is what we take a month or two to teach. So don't get confused and don't worry that it's too complicated. It isn't. Every day we go over the same things over and over, every single day, over and over and over, again and again. Muscle memory gets created. You remember how to do it because we go over it all the time. How do you join our trade room? You just go to 10minutetrades.com login. Remember, I showed you on our member site, you could get the web with the web password, or we send out to our members the login every day in an email. Every morning before we trade, we send to our members the login and the daily schedule. All right. Now, we've covered a lot of the software overview. We recommend NinjaTrader 8. Now, I'm going to show you how to install the software and how to set up your charts exactly like ours. And this is going to take 5 minutes. That's how easy it is. When you become a member, we send you a PDF and it shows you the links of our software. It's very simple, not complicated at all. We send you 3 links and we also send you a chart template that you're going to load in to your charts. So let's say we're going to do the magnet and you're going to set up your charts to look just like ours. So as a reminder, a magnet is a popular level on the chart that many traders put their orders around, and those magnets are exits. High of day is an exit. Also, at those levels, reversals take place. That's what our ARS system is. It's a reversal trading system, and it gives signals. But first, you have to know how to install the software. We send our members the link, and you click the link. It's very simple. You get the link, and it's just a Google Drive file. You just click the link. A couple of seconds, your software gets downloaded. It's a zip file. You don't try to unzip it. You install it into NinjaTrader. That's all you have to do. Install it into NinjaTrader. So you go to Tools. You go to Import. You go to NinjaScript Add-on. It opens up a dialog. It takes a few seconds. And it's going to say, I said import, right? It's going to import Magnet Trade. I'm going to double click it. All right. Now, for me, I've already got it installed. Okay, so let me do it one more time. Right click the click Tools, Import, NinjaScript Add-on. Know where the file is, double click it, and it's going to give you this screen. Using third-party add-ons, ignore it, just click OK. It already exists on my PC, so I'm going to replace the existing file, but I'm not going to replace it. But if you get that message, do it. It might be installing a new version. Once I'm done and I say yes, it will say strategy successfully installed. That's how fast it takes to install the strategy. Now remember, you also downloaded our magnet template, okay? You downloaded the magnet template. Very simply, when you got our template, and we send you the template when you sign up and become a member. So when I say you downloaded it, I really just mean you're grabbing it from your email, and it's a file. It's just a file called Magnet 2.0. You install that file into your NinjaTrader template area. That area is right here. You click My Documents file, all right? Click your Documents file. Click NinjaTrader 8. click templates, click charts, paste our template into this folder. There's the template right there, Magnet 2.0. Close that up, and now set up your charts exactly like ours in 1 minute. Go to New. Create a new chart. So easy. All right? It opens up a new chart. I don't care what instrument you use, whatever instrument you want to use. Let's use gold. All right? All the defaults, you could leave them where they are. The most important default, trading hours, it will be use instrument settings. Just double check it and make sure days to load is no more than 5. Okay it. You now have a brand new 1 minute chart. All right. I don't have to add instruments. I don't have to add indicators. I don't have to add pivots. All I have to do is right click the chart. Go to templates. Load Magnet 2.0. And now my chart, believe it or not, it's 100% configured. I just have to shrink everything. Right click to shrink everything. Now it's already starting to look like my chart's almost 100%. You can shrink everything down a little bit, shrink your indicators a little bit, the volume, shrink your squeeze a little bit. You don't need all that much space spent on the squeeze and the volume. And now, believe it or not, your charts are set up 100% for mine. Exactly like. A couple of things you want to do. I didn't even have to turn on the chart trader, but sometimes when you create a new chart, don't forget you have to turn on the chart trader with the chart trader icon. Make sure you turn on your chart trader. I like to see money in my P&L. After each trade, I like it to build up. Right click a blank space on your chart trader, go to properties, and make sure that it says show P&L when flat, that is checked. And I like to see currency. Some people like to look at ticks, how many ticks move each time. I like to watch the money when I'm taking a trade. Okay it, and then my chart trader is all set. That's it, folks. That's how long it takes to set up our charts. Because when you become a member, we send you our template. That's how long it takes to set up your charts for perfect magnet trading. On our charts, I'll get into, I'll show you everything we have installed on the charts so you know and understand what we use. One of the best tools that we have that we love the most is the clock. The clock is a real helpful tool for trading, and it's called Topmost Clock. And I'm going to give you the link for it in a minute. We also have a pre-trade checklist. One of the things you want to know how to do is make sure your computer is in sync when you're trading news. We go to a website called www.time.is and it gets your computer in sync. Let me get to this by putting my slides back on. Is it amazing how easy it is to set up your charts to look like ours? We're going to get a low of day test on gold here. I'm going to set it up, the magnet, and while we're doing the webinar, you'll hear it. I'll hear it. So I'm going to set up a magnet for a high of day, low of day gold trade. I believe gold's going to make a new low. All right. When I hear it, our software makes a sound when it hits the order, so I can press the button to enter the trade. All right. So let's go back to our slides, or I could just turn it on and we'll hear it. So I'll turn it on. We'll go back to our slides for the moment. It looks like it's going to happen shortly. All right. So I've given you a lot of overviews of the software already. We love NinjaTrader. When you get our software installed in your NinjaTrader, there in the help area, All right, in the help area, right up here, click help, click about, and you'll get your machine ID. All right, copy and paste your machine ID and send it to us in an email. We need that number to activate your software. Look at this, folks. Gold's going to make a new low. Gold's going to make a new low. Maybe I want to get filled earlier, you know what I mean? So I could just move the order up. There's also an enter now button. It's like one tick away from going down. You could see the NQ, it just did a low of day magnet. Had you had a magnet set up for a low of day on the NQ, you'd be exiting your trade with a profit because you would have hit the low of day. Magnets are probably my personal favorite way to trade. I love magnets. We do magnets every morning in the trade room. All right. It's going to fill. I can't move away from the chart. All right. Oh, it just filled. I heard it. It filled. So now, is it going to hit the magnet, the low of the day, or is it going to give you an opportunity to trail? Remember what I showed you? If price keeps going, we're going to want to trail. Right now, it's not far enough, but this is full-size gold, folks. It's already a $300 trade. I'm getting my stop to safety as soon as I can, okay? Because it's a lot of money involved trading full-size gold. And I'm going to trail it down fairly tight, all right? Fairly tight. Right now, it's over $600. I'm going to keep trailing, keep trailing. It's going to hit that low. That was a $1,400 trade, and I'm not joking, 2 gold contracts. That was real-time markets. That's the power of our magnet software. If you learn how to do this, that could be real life for you. This is not just a fantasy of fake setups by a fake mentor. We teach you how to do that for real. And you just saw with your own eyes a real possible trade. I'm not making this up. I didn't know gold was going to make a new low during the webinar. How would I know that? I wouldn't. Okay, software. We love NinjaTrader 8. I showed you how to activate the software. I showed you how to install, showed you how to set up your charts. How to start the software on your chart. You just right-click the mouse in a blank area on the chart and click the word strategies. I showed you the various software settings, and I'll show them to you again because they're very important. So for instance, when we have the various types of setups, we can look at the settings. So you write to start the software, right-click the chart, click the word strategy. Choose the strategy you're trading. It's the trap trade, choose the trap. If it's a magnet, choose the magnet. If it's news trader, choose news trader. And then news trader gives you options. Breakout trade, range trade, reversal continuation trade. And then we even have some advanced trades. We have a lot more trade types that we just don't use that often. So they're in a separate area. Trap squeeze, manual reverse breakout. Those are rare trades, but our software is very powerful. Years ago, we used to do different things, and we keep those setups. We don't take them out of the software just because we're not using them anymore. So our software is very powerful, but very easy. Each setup, the breakout, has inputs. You input the time. You're going to put your orders on the chart. You input your bracket. How many orders above and below the price? You're going to put your orders. How many positions? 1 or 2 or 3. Some trades you could have 3 positions. How many contracts for each position? You have to tell the software how many contracts. If it's 2 contracts, then position 1 becomes a 2. It's very easy. And always we put in a stop. And then one of my favorite features of all the setups, if you trade 2 positions, when it hits the first target, we have something called target one stop move. It sounds like exactly what it is. When your first target gets hit, it moves the stop to safety or wherever you want it. I like to move it to break even, BE. If I hit my first target, very often I move my stop to break even. I could move it to break even minus 5 ticks if I wanted to do that. I could do that. I could move it to break even plus 5 ticks. Very, very flexible software. All of the setups, they just have slightly different inputs. They all have time usually. One other input that I didn't show you, one setup that we use every day, all day long, is the reverse continue. So yesterday, we had a losing trade on IBM earnings, and it lost about $300 in one of my good prop accounts. But the market looked like it was going to reverse. We have a setup that we call the reverse continue, and I just want to show you how fast and easy it is to put up. I am a little bit worried about what's going on in the news because the markets are selling off very heavily. One of the things that we do in the room, and if you're a trader, one of the things that I recommend is that you keep your news feed open from Financial Juice. They have a news feed that I keep open all day long. And I just want to take a quick look and make sure something horrible isn't going on. So there's been air defense sounds in Tehran. So it sounds like there's been some bombing in Tehran. That's what it sounds like. Um, that's the only thing I'm really seeing. That was at 137. Okay. Air defenses heard engaging hostile targets in parts of Tehran. So something's going on. It's obviously causing the markets to drop. All right. So that's what's causing the markets to drop. But that's why it's so important to be using Financial Juice. It is one of the most important tools we have. It just lets you know what's going on in the news. You can, of course, keep your TV on to CNBC. That, of course, is helpful as well, but it's delayed. Whereas Financial Juice, you get the news a little bit quicker. All right? So the world's not ending, but it's certainly not good news. I would rather that this end. All right, so I showed you the software settings. We vet the trades, so we help you find the correct setups. You can use DMMs on some of the trades. And we explained about live trading, sim trading, prop trading, and market replay. And I even showed you how to do back testing. If you need any help, okay, just email us help@10minutetrades.com. Okay, I showed you how to install the software. If you ever get a message that says something like, you have a newer file on your computer than the file you're trying to install, always leave the newer file and don't install that file. Sometimes you'll just get a choice to keep the newer file. Always keep the newer file. I showed you how to set up your charts, the indicators that we put on our charts, the current day open, high, low, pivots, the order flow VWAP, volume up and down, the net change display, and the squeeze. Those are all the indicators that are part of our template. Our clock is called Topmost Clock. It's free. And I'm going to give you a link so you can download it. All right. Here's a link for Topmost Clock. I'm pasting it into the chat. Anybody, you all should see the link. Let me know for sure that you can see it. And everybody should have access to Topmost Clock. If you want to sync your computer, I'm sending you a link so that you can sync your computer so that when you trade, your computer is not out of sync. What if your clock on your computer is 5 seconds off. Some of our trades are down to the second. You need your trade to be the correct time down to the second. That means your computer must be in sync. Install this little program and it lets you make sure your computer is in sync. How do you then check that your computer is in sync? Go to the website www.time.is. That's all you got to do. Always, 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 when you're checking your sync, use a fresh browser. So what do I mean? If you go to the website, Time Is, it checks your time. My computer happens to be exact, but make believe it wasn't. And it said my sync was off. And I used our time sync program to put my computer in sync. It looks like this. Sync Now, it has a button, and I press the Sync Now button until the synchronized line changes. Then I close everything and go back with a fresh browser. That's what I mean, a fresh browser. And do that time.is from scratch, not from an old browser that already used time.is. Otherwise, it will not necessarily check your computer properly. Always use a fresh browser window. Starting the software on your chart, I've explained that. You just right click, click the word strategy, and then you enter the inputs and click the enable button, right? Let me show you one more time. Right click, click the word strategy, double click news trader. If you want to do a breakout trade, you enter your activation time. So let's say your activation time is going to be 2:30. So that would be 14:30. All right. 00. That's our activation time. Choose your bracket. You choose your size, your positions, your targets. You apply it. You okay it. And then you turn on the trade by clicking the enabled button. Then when the right time comes, the trade will trigger. I set it for 2:30, so we're not getting a trade now. If I made the time 0, and we tell our members, test your setup, you could test your brackets if you make the first number 0, okay, and then run the trade with 0 as the first two numbers, watch what happens. It will put your brackets on the chart. You could test and make sure your brackets have enough space so you can manage the trade. Okay? You want to have enough space. Now, our software puts this line on, which there is a reason for it. Gold is going insane right now. This tells me that something again is going on in the news, folks. So just keep ahead of the news. But News Trader, we tell our members you can check your trade with 0 time and it'll put the trade on the chart. Watch again, I press the enabled button. Now that's when I put the time on for 0, so it triggers and you could look at your bracket. And if you want to get rid of that line, that's what I was showing everyone. I got distracted. You just go to optional in the breakout, show vertical line, get rid of it, uncheck it, reapply the trade, okay it, and now when you test your brackets, that line will not be in the way. It'll be gone. All right? We teach you all of this. I don't expect anybody to remember all of this. I said I was going to go over almost everything in this video. It's a lot to ask. We've been going for almost 2 hours. All right, so let me get to our fantastic. Let me zoom through the rest of my slides. We help you choose the correct setup. We vet these events. We have a setup for all of these trades. We showed you breakouts, trap trades. I was going to show you one more. I was talking about the IBM trade. IBM, we lost money on the trade. And I was going to show you how to set up a reverse continue. Right click the chart, click the word strategies, double click news trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue. With a reverse continue, all you need is a position and a contract amount. That's one. You need a target, let's say a 30 tick target, and let's say a 50 tick stop. We now have a reversal continuation set. We have to tell it what account you want to trade it in. I'll trade it in SIM. I give every trade a name. We're on gold, so we'll call it GC reverse continue. Press apply, okay. When I turn on a reverse continue, by checking the enabled box in the control panel, it turns on an instant long button and an instant short button. It doesn't put me in a trade. I don't want to automatically throw myself in a random trade until I've looked at the market, right? I want to be looking at the market. Gold was going crazy. Is it still going up? Maybe. I'm going to take a long. So I press the long button. I might want to increase my stop below the previous candle, and I might want to move my target up to the VWAP. I love using the market structure to help me find my targets and stops. The VWAP and or there's a pivot there, S1, those could be really good targets. Gold may be going up to those targets before it changes direction. Now, there was a tremendous move from the low, which if you would have had our magnet installed, this is how fast I can put on a gold magnet. Click on magnet strategy, high of day, low of day. One position is default. 3 ticks away from the magnet is the exit default. Stop, I would make 50. That's all I need to turn on my magnet. You remember though, I'm going to label it gold magnet, so I'll put a GC in front of the name. It's on SIM. I'm going to apply it and okay it. Look at my trade. I saw before it was up about 200 bucks. I'm going to exit this trade by moving my target down to there. If it pops up a tick, okay, it took me out for about an $80 trade. But now I have a magnet and I'm interested in maybe grabbing something else. Turn on the magnet, but I wanted to show you we have built into our magnet strategy the ARS signal system. Automatic reversal, I don't care what you call it. Aftershock reversal system is our official name. Aftershock reversal system. This was maybe one of the best signals I've seen all day. It gave a long signal after the new low was made. If you would have taken that trade, you wouldn't have taken it on this candle. That's not honest. It was moving too fast. You would have gotten the signal and would have had a brain to take it somewhere in here, okay? So if you use the ruler, first you click the pencil, click the ruler. Click the pencil, click the ruler. Click the area you want to start measuring from, go to the area you're ending, and it puts in a box how many ticks. That was a 246 tick move. There were 200 ticks of possible profit from that signal. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you that all of our ARS signals work. They don't. Many of them are phenomenal, though. You can afford to get stopped out on a wrong signal when you then have a 100-tick winner. The NQ, I promise you, if I turn on a magnet over here on the NQ, if you look at our magnet system, you're going to have a winning signal over there on the NQ. I didn't know these were going to be the charts we got today, okay? I didn't know that. Just take a look. I'm just looking at signals. I don't even have to set the trade up to look at signals. They automatically generate high of day, low of day, and VWAP. Now, maybe it didn't create a signal, and that's okay. We have something else that can create a signal. the standalone system. That creates the most of our possible signals. The reason this didn't create a signal, it was a little bit too delayed in the reversal. And sometimes when the market's very fast, it delays the signal. But our ARS standalone, which you can always turn off and on to check for extra signals, is available in the market to trade with. And it did generate an aftershock reversal signal. This happened to be one of the most perfect signals I've seen. But our ARS system is built in. It generates reversal signals on VWAP tests and high of day and low of day tests. It works on any chart, any time frame, any instrument. We love our signal system. All right. I was going to show you we had a losing IBM trade, and then I wanted to show you how quick it is to put on a reverse continuation. So I showed you. We right-click the chart. Click News Trader. I'll do it one more time because it's so fast. Change the breakout to reverse continuation. That's a fancy way for saying scalp, but we scalp safely because we use positions and stops. So we have a stop, we have a number of contracts, and a target. It's a safe trade. It's as safe as a trade can be. You have target, stop. You're not just randomly throwing orders on the chart. And then I'm going to label it extra reverse continue. So I know it's the newest one I just put on the chart. Apply it, okay it, turn on my extra reverse continue, and I now have an instant long and an instant short button. And it lets me, if I think I want to go long, press the long button. If I thought I wanted to take a short, I can turn it off, close my trade, and I can do the same thing and take a short. All right, if I think I'm short, instant short. Once again, you have chart trading capability. You can move your stops and targets to try to get maximum money out of a trade, okay? Trading gold can be very profitable, but it can also be very risky because gold can move 50 ticks before you blink, and that's like $500, okay? So you got to know the risk in what you trade, and again, that's another thing that we teach our members in the room. All right, I've gone through everything. We've gone through what triggers earnings trades. I've shown you. Let me show you one more thing. I want to show you a real trade we took yesterday. So we lost money on IBM, and immediately I put on a reverse continue. Not immediate, it was about 30 seconds. I noticed using the tools we use when we trade earnings, which is Thinkorswim stock charts. For $50, you can open a Thinkorswim account and get real-time price before and after the market. And you can also use free TradingView to look at stock prices. We saw that IBM stock was very, very, very negative after the earnings. So I lost money on the earnings. I put a reverse continue on, and I was able to trade and then trail by moving my stop to safety. Remember what we said. First, the trade sets up. Now it's filled me and my stop is in safety. I have a nice fat profit and I'm expecting to get almost to the low. That's where the price went to. And I made back everything I lost in the trade. Actually, $5 I lost. Only because I was impatient and I didn't wait for it to actually go through the low. And that's me. I tend to be a little bit impatient. We do have very good earnings trade aids. Earningswhispers.com, I already showed you. Free TradingView. Financial Juice announces the popular earnings. And then there's a great page on NASDAQ.com that we use to find the last 4 earnings releases that came out on any symbol. So let's say you're getting ready to trade Intel and you want to look at the last 4 earning releases. type in the symbol and then scroll down, and this link gives you the last 4 earnings releases and their dates. That's important because it is tricky to find the dates. So I'm going to throw that link up in the chat for you also, so you can know where and how to find the last 4 earnings dates of any stock that you type in. Okay, so there you go. You have that. I've been pasting it into 2 places. There you go. That's a very, very important, useful tool for earnings. Why do earnings trades work? What do we do? How do we trade earnings? We're trading futures. We're not trading stocks. We're not trading options. We trade futures. We invented this method of trading. When Apple releases their earnings, you see the market NQ moves like crazy. This morning we traded Honeywell. We've learned that Honeywell moves the NQ and the YM. Netflix moves the NQ. These are things we study. This is what we teach. We teach you which instrument to trade, on which earnings, and what tools to use. Of course, what triggers the trade? The earnings get released and they are a surprise. It's always a surprise, right? That's what moves the markets. How do you get help? Send us emails, help@10minutetrades.com. We're really good about getting back to you. We always get back to you the same day, usually way quicker than that. Go to our YouTube channel. There's so many great videos on YouTube. Everything that we talked about today has a webinar just going over that one feature. If you want to learn trap trade in depth, there's a video on YouTube to do a trap trade. You want to learn earnings? We have a webinar on YouTube. It's all up there and it's free. So go to our YouTube channel, sign up, become a member. Send us an email at our help desk. You don't have to create an account, okay? Just remember, help@10minutetrades.com. Don't set up an account, just send the email. Anybody have any questions? Anybody? I haven't seen any questions at all. The whole webinar. Now I know this has been a lot to cover. We've covered a lot. I'm so sorry that my computer crashed in the beginning, but things happen. So no questions. I can't believe I don't have any questions, but I don't see any. I don't see any. So don't forget, you don't have to spend $5,000 or $10,000 if you're a new trader setting up a brokerage account. You can rent an account by being a prop trader. And we gave you the links, www.buellknox.com, okay? PTF code 89. They have a great sale. Ray tells me the sale is still going. Lucid Trading also. Let me get you the Lucid, the correct link, because it's a little trickier. Let me give you, and we like Lucid. Lucid, you pay a little bit more for what we call a flex prop account. All right, hopefully it's still the flex that makes sense. The companies are always changing things, so you can always check with us. But they have Lucid Flex accounts. Okay, you choose a flex account. That costs about $80, but you don't pay when it gets funded. And Lucid, you don't have to make as much money currently to ask for a payout. So Lucid is a company that we are getting involved with. And our members are getting paid from Lucid using Bracket Trading News. Here's the deal, everybody. We teach our members how to trade market opens. Every day we have news, we have market opens. 3 months of earnings every quarter, one very heavy month of earnings trades. Wouldn't you love to join us at 10-Minute Trades for everything I showed you today? Learn about all these winning trades. You know, I didn't show you any amazing earnings trades. Here's an amazing earnings trade. Apple, which is one of our favorites. One of my favorite trades, always at 4:30. This was a $1,200 Apple earnings trade in a nanosecond. It wasn't a minute. It was a nanosecond. And I'm not joking. It was instant. Look at this. I can't even stop the video fast enough to show you where our orders were. The trade was instant, and it was a $1,200 winning Apple trade. I can show you 100 winning videos. Every trade is not a winner. I would be a fool and a liar if I tried to tell you. But our members are making money. Look, here is the amount of money I made today trading a bunch of different accounts. Sim is the only place I lost money today, and that's the trade we just took. It's because I didn't close it. Okay, and we made $1,300 in Sim when I was showing you the gold magnet. But this morning, I made $133 in one of my prop accounts. I made $150 in a payout account. Okay, I made $80 in another funded account. I made $52 in a different funded account. Right now we have 3 funded accounts. Also, we have regular prop accounts. We made $565 in one of those. That's an eval. So we're trying to get that funded. We're working on that account. And we had another prop account, $470. So we have a couple of new accounts that we're building up towards getting funded. All honesty, a couple of funded accounts and a couple of regular accounts is plenty. It's all the average person needs. You can get away spending, anywhere about $80 a month. You could lay out if you want to be a trader. You could spend less. You could spend $19.25 a month, have one prop account. You could get started, practice, learn for $20 a month, and have everything except joining with us. And that's where I left off. We want you to join with us because we believe that we can teach you how to do this and you can become a successful trader. You'll learn all about the earnings trades, the trap trades, the breakouts, the magnets. You get access to all of our software, all of our daily market mover reports, a pro trade room subscription. Everything is included, everything. You get all of our software, the trap trade software, every session, family money trades, earnings trades, breakout trades, magnet trades, range trades, oil reports, job reports. I will guide you step by step through every trade room. All of the software, everything's included, folks. Every little bit. Trade room access, daily market movers, weekly schedule, magnet strategy, family money trades. Our normal membership is $197 a month. That's $600 for 3 months. We have a quick start super sale, $247 for 3 months. It expires at midnight. I'm going to post the link into the chat. It takes at least a month to get yourself going, okay? I could lie and say you could do this in a week. The average trader isn't doing this in a week. It's just not the way it works. Give yourself 3 months. You could do it. Most people could probably do it in a month. If you give yourself 3 months, you give yourself a full earnings season, you give yourself time to practice, you give yourself time to learn. Isn't that what it's all about? Taking the proper amount of time to do things the right way. That's what I recommend. It's $247 for 3 months. This deal expires Sunday. Our members love us. They send us their winning trade screens over and over and over. Folks, I could show you 500 winning trade screens. I can show you a brand new earnings live trade that one of our members sent us. ASML, a new earnings trade. He made $532 trading that report. We're going to trade ASML. Here it is. Here's his actual ASML trade on the ES. It was a breakout trade. It went through all the orders, and it was a significant high profit trade. It was excellent. And he was watching me in the trade room. That's why I'm on his video. He was watching us in the trade room. Then on the right is one of our members, Roz from Kenya, making $530 on her trading that day, trading the NQ. Our members, they love us. They are both still members. 3 months, 247. I sent everybody the link. If you have any questions, please know this. We care about all our members. We want you to succeed. We want you to be a winner. Help at 10minutetrades.com. Check out our YouTube. Go to our website for the free schedule. I think, folks, I've gone as long as I should go. I have more slides. I'll show you one more thing. We will take all the risk, okay? We take the risk. So we have a guarantee, all right? We'll take the risk. My first guarantee is I'll do anything to help you in the trade room become a successful trader. I'll do anything you need me to do. Guarantee number 2 is we have a 100% 3-month action guarantee. Spend 3 months working with us. Spend time with me live in the trade room, 3 rooms per week over the next 3 months. Keep a journal of your trades in the trade room. If you don't love the program by the end of 3 months, show us the proof you took action. Send us your journal with your real trades, prop, sim, or cash. We'll give you a 100% refund if you're not happy. All right? We just want you to do it, though. If you don't do it, don't buy it. But if you're going to do it, it's worth it. We're going to teach you how to do this well. This is not options and stock trading. It's futures using the NinjaTrader platform. You get NinjaTrader, www.ninjatrader.com. They have free setups, free platforms, and of course you can use Bullinox or Lucid to get your prop account. Coaching and support, how do you get it? 3 ways. Me in the live trade room, up to 10 hours a week we spend in the room. And by other members in the trade room, or email us, help at 10minutetrades.com. If you have trouble installing the software, what should you do? Come into the trade room. First, I'll also send you a video that walks you step by step installing it. If you can't get it installed, I'll show you how to do it in the room. If you still can't get it installed, I will help you. If we have to do a live remote, we'll figure out a way to do a live remote for you. So folks, trade in a prop account, trade cash, trade sim, trade live. You can do it any way you want. $247 for 3 months. The deal expires 3 months. I spent 3 months. $247, 3 months. How do you cancel? This renews every 3 months. If you want to cancel, just send us an email before the billing period. That's the only rule. You must email before your billing period. Just send an email. Please cancel. You'll still be our friend. We still know that you'll be back. 247. You'll go to our order screen. It's as easy as pie. Place the order. 3 months of everything. 247, bingo, bango, you're in the room, you're a member. By tomorrow, we would love to be trading with you this week. No reason you can't get it done by tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for joining this webinar. I love doing these, and I really appreciate the time that you give to me. It's really, really appreciated. So let me say thanks personally. Let me put my head in the right place. Up on the left. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate the time. I think I look a lot better like this. So I'll see everybody in the trade room, maybe even tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Expires Sunday at midnight.